I'm investigating technology and society for over than 7 years. Um, and with bioethics, I found the opportunity to discuss um, how technologies are part of life, are changing life, are penetrating the bodies and make a deep change on our way of living and seeing life. And also, ethics is also about politics. So, uh, thinking about biopolitics, it's like what are the politics behind the technological projects, what they express, and I give you one example. For example, one day years ago, I was coming from the airport in Rio de Janeiro, and mother of a friend said, "Oh, they are going to build a big wall, and then we don't need to see the shanty towns." So, if you find the project already done, you would just think about the architecture, if you like the architecture or you don't like the architecture, and you might not think it was also a device um, to hide a reality that some people prefer don't see, what is extreme inequality and bad politics in terms of uh, governments, how they manage the public sources, and what they put their priorities in terms of giving the citizens provide to the citizens what they need for the basic life dignity they everyone should have. So these are the things when we think about technological projects, they have a lot of layers of information and a lot of layers related to different things. For instance, when we um, when we see an AI project to recognize an image or to recognize a speech, um, we might not see the layers of representation in terms of classifications, the classifications that imply those systems. So, for instance, if we have let's see, facial recognition to evaluate if someone can commit a crime again or not. Um, so this evaluation has behind some layers of data, and some people they think data is it's science, is mathematics, is statistics, and usually they first of all, if there are some data with more Black people or Latino people inside the system, and they recognize some features in someone, is it fair to think because the system has a lot of data with people with this type of skin color features, so this person is likely to commit a crime because of her or his looks. So this is another thing. Another thing is when data is collected, people don't think, well, these people, they are already vulnerable in different ways, maybe living in poor neighborhoods, or maybe because there is already a prejudice against them, and the police, the law enforcement systems, and the employees of those systems, they feel more comfortable to do the harassment to these type of people, and they wouldn't stop, let's say, white people in nice neighborhoods to see if they have drugs on their pockets, or to question if they did something wrong. So actually the data is also not so pure in terms of truth, because the data represents already an action where people have bias, and so those things, every time when I think about talking about this, I think, oh, this is so obvious. It's even, it's so obvious. But the results, when we see the results of those systems, is like these AI systems. They are kind of reinforcing old prejudice, old bias, old thinkings, and this is what's happening. And AI systems, in that sense, are impacting the lives of people. Of course, they self-esteem every time, because once people have the technological systems reinforcing some strong bias, they kind of empower themselves and think, well, this is statistics, so it must be some truth and embedded on this. So why these people are complaining, this is just a reality. And another thing that I experienced is uh, I was searching in Google. Actually, I did this after I read um, I read in some social media that a person in Brazil, a singer, she looked in Google, single woman, but in Portuguese, and then the outcome, it was whore, and so she was, oh, this is absurd, etc., etc. So when I read that, I thought, okay, let me check this straight away. And then actually it was still, it was there. So I made some screen shots from my phone, and and then after I read some the answers Google gave to the case, it was like they use a dictionary, etc. But there are still some other things which are like uh, the dictionary shows to put in the first place a kind of pejorative idea of a single woman, and instead of, if you were looking for a single man, it would just say a single person. So this is another thing that happened. And of course, if someone read that, even if think, oh, it's something wrong with that, or it's a joke, or but they can just feel that, oh, I'm telling you, is this. So this playing with the morals all the time, it's kind of making tensions in society, because those systems, they are kind of emerging very, very strong ideas of prejudice, and that that is impacting the lives in one way. And so I've been writing essays, investigating those questions, and also the questions about companions robots, and especially the case of robot sex. And the case of robot sex has a lot to do with the symbolic discourse